Okay, so we'll move on to the sacrum, which is below the vertebrae. So in development, 5 vertebrae fuse together when the baby is in the womb to create the sacrum. And that's why it looks so strange, because it has, 5, it was 5 vertebrae to begin with, but they came together to make that one bone.
Wait, Miss Holly, would that be like some sort of disease or something if they didn't really come together?
Yeah, spina bifida is when that happens, when it doesn't fuse properly. Usually it's the whole, not just the bottom part, but usually the whole spine does not come together properly. And that can cause a lot of problems. You can have a spinal cord come out of the bone, and you could be paralyzed. You could have all sorts of problems. It depends upon how big the gap is that you get. It just depends on the genes and how it happens, but it can be life-threatening. But they can usually, if they catch it early, do surgery to correct it.
So they can tell like that it's not really been formed properly.
Yeah. But the problem is that sometimes the baby is just, it's just so malformed, and the baby's already developed enough. You can't do a lot for so it just depends on the situation.
Yeah.
But that one image, you probably have seen this before, where the baby is holding onto the finger of the surgeon. Have you ever seen that before?
No.
I'll just show that to you, because this came out, I forgot what, probably 99. Let me see. Open up Google Chrome. What did I say, baby? Bifida surgeon. Spina bifida. Well, I thought it would just come right up because it's like a really famous picture. I'll do this holding finger. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think it was like that gross, but I guess it is a little bit gross.
Wait, is it that photo?
It's this photo, but it's not really showing it very clear. I can't, my click on it doesn't show up for some reason. I guess they have it turned off on here.
Wait, is it to the right or is it?
It's,
is it because of the faucet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's try this.
It's so funny how they have it for the teacher.
Yeah, I don't remember being that gross, honestly. Like, like when I saw it, it did not. No, this must be it's a different. Well, okay, so Betsy has Safe Search on, so you'll see like a lot of the pictures that I normally could see on Google, and I think that's why. I'll have to look at, because I remember it was on a magazine cover. It was not like that exactly. Anyway, like it happens like this, where the vertebrae doesn't close around the spinal cord, and the spinal cord comes out. And so this is basically the spinal cord that is not, properly in the vertebrae. And it can be really serious, life-threatening. But I'll have to remember to get that picture later so you can see it, because it really is like a really good. It's a good, the one that I saw, it's not disturbing. It wasn't that one. Yeah, it was. It wasn't that one. I'll define it, but it really is a good pro-life picture, and so I saw it over and over again back when it first came out because of that, because you had that little baby holding on to the surgeon's finger while he's operating on the baby.
Yeah, he was like really little.
He's in the womb. Yeah, the baby was in the womb. And so, and the baby, like, if it's like that, where it's spina bifida, where it can be really damaging to the baby if it's not corrected. Of course, it's a really risky surgery.
So do they do like a C-section and then?
Yeah, like a partial C-section where they, they open up the womb, but the baby stays in there, and they close it back up again.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
And that was the first time I've ever done that. Back, I think it was 99, 98 when they did this. That was the first time I've ever done that before.
Do they do it?
I mean, not very often. I mean, it's a last resort.
Yeah.
It's only when they're, it's very risky.
Yeah.
But it's when they have to. Moving on down here to the bottom part, the coccyx is the tailbone. It's made of usually 4. It can be more than 4 vertebrae, but generally it's 4 vertebrae. They're fused together. And
wait, is this part of the?
It's below the sacrum.
Oh, it's a different thing.
So the coccyx is the tailbone, and it's a different section below the sacrum.
Okay.
And the sacrum right here, you can see it's in between the two hip bones. The hip bones fuse with the sacrum. So right above the sacrum, you have the L5 vertebrae, the lumbar vertebrae, and that fuses with the sacrum and then attaches to the hip bones right there. Moving upward to the thoracic cage. That includes the ribs, the vertebrae, the thoracic vertebrae, 12 of those, the sternum, which is this bone right here, and the costal cartilage. You can see it in white along here. And so some of your ribs are made of cartilage. Now, cartilage can still be kind of tough. I mean, your ear is made out of cartilage, your nose has some cartilage in it. So it's not fully flexible sometimes. It depends on the kind of cartilage you're talking about. But it gives you some flexibility. You have 12 pairs of ribs. And so whether male or female doesn't matter, you always have 12 pairs of ribs. So 24 ribs in total.
Oh, wasn't there like a myth that men have less ribs than
Yeah, I mean, because the Bible says that, God took a rib from Adam and made Eve from that. But now I don't know how that changed over time, but
Yeah.
or if it did.
Possible to have one less rib?
Because
some people do.
Well, yeah, birth defects can happen where you just don't ever have it. Like the genes are just written, so you just have less ribs. That definitely can happen.
Where God made Adam with one more than the normal.
That would make sense. That would make. I mean, that I would. Yeah.
I mean, the Bible isn't always super literal.
That's true too. Like especially with the creation story. I mean, a lot of that is not meant to be historic. It's meant to be more of a gives you truth about God being the creator, man having a special place in creation, man and female being created. Like, but it doesn't mean that it has to be literal. 6 days of creation,
Yeah, like,
and then.
Yeah.
So we don't know for sure if it's telling you step by step how it happened. It could be, but most likely it's taking some liberties with it, and it's more giving you a truth about what happened, but not telling literally what happened. These ribs are attached to your thoracic vertebrae back here. So you have 12 thoracic vertebrae, and you have 12 ribs that go onto the vertebrae. 7 true ribs attached to the sternum directly by costal cartilage. So one, you can't really see that one up there. Let me try and move it. I can't do it right now. Zoom things get in the way. Move this down so you can see it better. Okay, so they're numbered 1 through 12. So the top rib is number 1. And you can see that they're joined by costal cartilage to the sternum right here. And the true ribs go straight from the vertebrae to the sternum. But then below number 7, you have false ribs. 8 through 10. You can see right here. Well, you could call floating ribs false ribs too. So you could really say 8 through 12 are false ribs. But some of them attach indirectly to the sternum. Others are floating ribs where they don't attach at all to the sternum.
So why are they called false ribs?
Because a true rib is, to an anatomist, is one that goes from your back all the way to the sternum directly. And a false rib to an anatomist is one that does not go to your sternum directly. These ones right here don't go to the sternum directly. Some attach indirectly to the sternum, but they attach to here and not to the sternum. And then floating ribs down here don't even attach that way to the sternum. They just are in the back part. So 5 on each side are called false ribs, 8 through 12. And then 2 are floating ribs, 11 and 12. Don't even attach to the sternum indirectly.
Is it worse to break your cartilage or the bone part of your rib?
Well, I mean, I guess it depends upon where the injury is at, because if you are breaking an area by your lungs, that would be more dangerous than an area out to the side. So if you were to have it out here away from your lungs, that'd be less dangerous than, say here where it's by your heart or by your lungs, by a vital organ. Cartilage does not repair as fast as bone. So that'd be one thing to think about. Cartilage is going to repair more slowly than bone. But cartilage is hard to break. And so you might not break it as easily if you were to break it.
Do people say that they broke their ribs even if they break the cartilage?
Yes. Yes, that's right. When you do CPR on somebody, you generally are going to break or crack the ribs. So if you're doing it right, you usually are going to either, now, if you're doing it correctly, you're going to break the xiphoid process. So that's a common bone that people break during CPR if they're not doing it correctly. If they're doing it correctly, they probably are going to crack some of these ribs up here when they do CPR. The sternum has 3 parts to it. So this is the bone in the middle, looks like a sword. The top part, manubrium.
Do you think we should be taking CPR classes?
I mean, I think it would be good. I mean, there's a lot of things I wish we could teach here, and CPR is definitely an important thing to know. It's not really hard to learn. I mean, it's really very easy. Yeah, they talked last year about having a day where we would have training like that. We would have training about if we had a shooter come to the school, what we do in that situation. If we had a tornado, what would we do? If we had a fire, just like have a whole day where we went through all these different things.
We don't, yeah, we are.
I think
And-
Mr. Happy just like put crucifixes in everything and called it a day.
And there was one year, this is 2007 when I was here, and there was a shooter over by Kroger. And so we had to lock down the school, and we had to lock all the doors, and we just had to, it was scary. We closed all the blinds. They couldn't see in our windows. Just, I mean, nothing happened, but it was still scary to think that something could have happened. So I mean, it does happen. And it's good to know what to do if those things do happen. But I don't know, like we talked about doing that last year to have a whole day, and Mr. Hester was really like, he was the one spearheading that, and Miss Lilisky too was on it, but just never happened. So pretty safe. I mean, like, but the other ones have better windows, like smaller windows. Like these are pretty big windows. So
Some parts of the wall kind of thing.
do what?
Like on the outside where there's the doorway.
Oh yeah.
Is the wall
And
thinner?
Wait, what?
Is the wall thinner? Like when you're outside, you can see the door shaped sort of stained part.
Oh, isn't there brick though around it? I thought there was.
There's brick around it, but like it's definitely wood right there. Like you can knock on it and it's wood.
Oh, okay, that's pretty thin then. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's so many things, like I wish we could learn about taxes. So I guess you kind of actually do that in finance class. That's good. I'm glad you know that savings, IRAs, and stocks.
Just like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like actual.
I wish we had my class.
Yeah. I guess the idea, or earlier anyway, is that the parents are the ones who would do that, teach their kids those kinds of things. But over time, there's things that the parents just never learn themselves, or things the parents are just too busy to teach. Like, like changing a flat tire, CPR. If somebody's choking, what do you do? I mean, there's so many things that you should know when you go off to college that you just don't.
Yeah.
But you also have to be so careful.
But, I probably could. I mean, I'm not a trained CPR technician, so I can't do,
My parents did.
but no, it's not. But your parents are? Would they want to come and teach a CPR class?
Probably.
Yeah, see what they say.
But you have to have the dummies to do it, don't you?
Yeah, I mean that.
My parents would probably
But see if they want to come out and do that. Like they could do like CPR, maybe like if you're choking, what do you do? If somebody's fainting, if somebody like has a stroke or somebody has like if somebody's having a seizure, like if they were come out and like just have a class like that, just like if there's a crisis, like what do you do?
That would be awesome. We could turn it like into a day workshop, and we could like get lunch from somewhere.
Oh my gosh. It becomes like a social.
Yeah, I mean, see if they do, or if they can't, see if they know somebody who would want to do that. That'd be really good. But what is good too is that if you do have a friend who has, like a seizure, for example, like if you call 911, they're going to tell you what to do. They'll walk you through it. So you're not going to be on your own. If you call 911, they're going to tell you exactly what you need to do to help that person. So it's not like they're going to just, if you get help, you can find help.
But it is like better to know what to do.
Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely.
No, that would be good. We could actually have a day.
Mhm.
No, I know what it is.
All right, the pectoral girdle comes out from the sternum and it makes up the collar in the shoulder. And so it's made of the clavicle. Remember the clavicle is?
Yes, it's that little like.
Yeah,
bone.
it's right here.
And what's the common name for the clavicle?
It's your
Collarbone. Yeah, good.
Reading off
Yeah.
too.
And then scapula. What's the shoulder blade? Good in the back.
Because it's where your scapular.
That's how I think of it. Yeah, yeah. That's why it's called scapular because it's around your shoulders.
Oh, really?
Yeah, scapular. I mean, now it's a smaller thing, but the scapular just means anything you put over your shoulders. And in the past, it was usually a bigger thing.
Oh,
Then-
that's smaller.
It can be more like a poncho type thing. I mean, it just depends on, like, yeah. Or like more like, I don't know what you call it, like a surplus, I guess, like over the alb.
A surplus, did you say?
Yeah, there's an alb, and like a cassock and a surplus
Yes.
that the altar boys wear.
And don't some priests still wear like a big scap, like the actual?
Yeah.
scapulars? Yeah.
Well, these ones are actual guys.
But the original one.
Yeah, yeah. But like, these are not fake stuff.
No, yeah.
Clavicle is collarbones, S-shaped bones. They articulate with two parts, with the manubrium, and which you can't see now because this is up here. Don't want to get rid of that. Well, Zoom is annoying. I guess I can move it down here for now. So manubrium right here, attached to the scapula, sorry, to the clavicle, and then back here to the scapula. The scapula is a shoulder blade. And that's down here, what you can see, side view right here. You said there's some hooks, and the hooks are designed to attach to bone and also to attach to muscles. And so you have, deltoid muscle that attaches that area. You have pectoral muscles that attach to the area up there. So muscles hook on to these places. And so your bones are hooks for muscles to attach to, because you have movement when muscles attach to bone and muscles pull the bone. So if you snap a muscle, tear a muscle, movement will be very difficult or impossible, because you have to have a muscle move the bone for you to have movement.
Can your muscle like rip off part of your bone?
It does, yeah. I had it happen to me before. I coughed really hard and I tore muscle off my back, and it was so painful. Like, it was like, I can't even describe like how much that hurt. That was just real. So you can, if you're not careful about how like you're coughing or how, anything really, not just that, lifting things, that's easy way to tear muscles is when you lift things improperly. Playing sports, of course, that can happen. But yeah, you can definitely tear muscle off bone, and it's very, very painful. It takes a while for it to grow back, or even need surgery in certain cases if it tears up completely.
So did you just have yours grow back?
Yeah, mine wasn't a complete tear, and so it repaired itself, but I just had to really rest and not move very much. Yeah, a lot of movement was really painful for a while. A couple of months, I think, before I felt better. Yeah.
When did this happen?
Probably when I was high school.
In high school?
Yeah. I had like bronchitis, so I was coughing really hard for a long time. It wasn't just like one cough. I mean, I had been coughing really, really deep and for a very long time, and so yeah, it was not normal coughing. It was like, if you have your bronchitis cough, it's like a really, really deep cough. Like that's
And like it like rocks your whole body.
Yeah.
Geez, so on top of bronchitis, you like ripped your shoulder.
Yeah, it was not fun. Yeah. Because it really hurt to cough, because I still need to cough after that, and it really, really hurt to cough. Yeah, it was very painful.
That's like the worst thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have two little algae pets, so you should be.
Those are really cute.
They look
They look like little pom-poms.
They do. I literally thought they were pom-poms in water.
Wait, what are they?
They're little algae balls.
Algae balls.
Hmm.
Who gave you algae?
Carl got it.
Wow. That's a
cool gift.
It's a very unique gift.
Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna watch something like that.
Humerus, top bone, your funny bone. And it's called that because if you hit it the right way, a nerve is pinched or hit, and that causes you to feel this tingly feeling throughout your arm. It's a really unpleasant feeling, but it's because you're hitting a nerve. The head of the humerus fits the scapula up here. Capitulum down here.
Wait, can you go back to see one
Oh,
second?
yeah, humerus, the funny bone. Already have that? Okay. Capitulum down here articulates with the ulna. And so the ulna has a U-shaped area, which fits this notch right here in the capitulum. And that creates your movement in your arm back and forth.
Does it articulate with both of them, the radius and the ulna?
It does, just a different way. So the radius right here you can see is more detached.
Wait,
So the ulna is more of like a lock and a key.
however you say what that is. Is
Capitulum?
that what the white stuff is?
Yes, that's right. You see it right here.
Mhm.
This is annoying. Okay. The trochlea, that's the part that articulates with the ulna. I'm sorry, did I say the other way around? Okay, good. No, I said radius. Okay, that's right. It's like I thought it's ulna for some reason. Yeah. So
I think you said ulna like once, but the other time.
oh, okay, sorry. No,
Yeah,
yeah. So the radius with the capitulum right here. So the radius is the circular area, which attaches to the capitulum right here. And the trochlea is this right here, which attaches to the ulna. Yeah, trochlea is the,
Hard word to say.
yeah, there's a few of them. I'm sorry. So I mentioned this before, but the radius is on the thumb side of your arm, and it goes from the elbow to the wrist. And you have a disc-like area at the top, which articulates with the humerus. The radius causes you to twist, so the circular area right here allows twisting of your arm. And the ulna has a hinge-like area that makes you flex. Yeah, flex now is a different meaning than it used to. But there's so many words now that you can't.
It's so true.
You just like, there's just so many words over the years that you just can't say anymore. Especially in science. And then let's see. So we're still in the radio. We talked about this right here. See, yeah, we already went through all those ones right there. So everybody have these ones done?
No. Wait, maybe I.
Yeah. Wait, what? No, thankfully not.
Mr. Sebastian
Yeah.
had to perform CPR and Chris Shields. Oh wait, no, that wasn't CPR. That was the hemlock maneuver.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, he wanted to. I told him he didn't need to because because she was still breathing.
Yeah.
So she was still talking. So she was, because he was really afraid. I was like, no, she's okay. I mean, she's still talking. So you don't really have to worry.
Yeah, because if you're actually choking, you can't make any noise.
Yeah.
It's silent.
I mean, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's so freaky.
Yeah. So I guess that'd be the closest I ever had to. I mean, Christiana definitely was closest to choking I've ever known, but she was okay. I mean, it was unpleasant, but she was okay.
It was so
I mean-
because once when John Paul was like 4 or something, he like had this huge like piece of like melon or something in his mouth, and we were all just doing our own things, and then it was quiet. And my mom realized she hadn't heard John Paul say anything for a little while, so she looks over and he's like there, and he's choking, but he can't make any noise.
Yeah.
And she like had to hit him so hard, and then she like had to grab it. That was kind of gross. Like it's freaky because you don't know.
Yeah, that's right. They won't make noise. That's right. So if they're really truly choking, they can't talk or cough. Yeah, that's scary.
So if you were like choke, you'd probably have to like try and like grab someone. Like,
Well, okay, if you're by yourself, you can get a chair, and you can put your abdomen over the chair and just like force yourself into it. And I mean, that's how you can do that.
Yeah.
So it's gonna hurt, but it'll work. If you're choking on your own, nobody's around, you can do the Heimlich on yourself by using a chair. And you can just like heave your belly onto the chair, which I know it sounds kind of weird, but it will save your life. So.
Yeah, that's Celeste asked me a question just as I like start to choke on my water.
Oh,
and,
no.
like, choking and tearing up, and she's like,
Oh.
and I'm like,
Oh, that's terrible. Couldn't she tell that you were joking? I mean, wasn't that pretty obvious?
It was pretty obvious. I was confident doing that.
Wow. So ulna's on pinky side, and trochlear notch articulates with the humerus with the ulna. So ulna, this U shape attaches the trochlea right here. Trochlear notch would be this area right here on the ulna, which makes the U on the ulna. And for here, we'll stop notes. I'll give you some things to color before class ends. There's a lot of coloring worksheets this week to do. And then to give you a heads up about this week, the chapter is almost finished. I know it seems like a really long chapter, but we're almost finished with it. So it looks like we'll finish everything. Hey, I'm trying to be nice to y'all, but you're just.
Test tomorrow.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, when do I not try to be fair and try to like accommodate you?
You're like, actually, I'm spoon feeding you guys.
So it looks like you'll finish everything by Friday, and so there are a few options you have. So I know Monday is probably be a really bad day for the test, so we probably won't have it on Monday. Yeah, right. Yeah. So, but a lot of people are going to have, if they're even watching, they're going to still have parties and things like that. I know, so that's going to be a bad day. So I was thinking of having it on Tuesday to like have a movie on Monday and have the test on Tuesday. So that's what I was thinking would be the most sense. So does that work for everybody? I'll just see. Yeah. I know it's gonna be a science movie. Like it's a movie that goes along.
It's very scientific.
Yeah, I mean it's a little scientific. I mean I wouldn't say a lot. Inside Out itself is a lot more scientific. That's true. There's a lot of truth to Inside Out as far as how the brain. No, but I have a movie playing for y'all that goes along with your material. It goes along with bones and muscles. That I wanted to show you. Right. Yeah. So it's just reviewing on Friday. Yeah. Okay. So there are a lot of things I'm passing out. Let me just go through the things you need to know tonight. So I have a little stack for you, but don't do it all today. So definitely just the ones you've seen before. So you've seen vertebrae, of course, scapula, clavicle. So I guess like just the ones with related to the rib cage, face and ulna, humerus. So most of these you can do. Just stop at the hands. So when you get to the hands, you can stop at that point. But just hold the rest for later on this week. I just copied all together for you to have.
And those 5 coloring pages are due tomorrow.
Yes.
Miss Holly, have you seen the movie Stand and Deliver?
I have, yeah. It's good.
I'm gonna try to convince Mrs. Liskey to let us watch it.
Oh, that's a good idea. It's really motivational. Like it's hard to imagine. Like so, this teacher takes kids who fail, who just are in really bad situations, and he teaches them AP calculus, and they make 5s on the AP test. Wow. Like the whole class makes 5s on the AP test. And it's just incredible how these kids who failed pre-calc or failed algebra stuff. You're just, we're not gonna do this. There's something else going on besides school. So we know there's something to calculus. Not just do it, but take 5, 6. And so the college board investigated him because they were sure that he cheated. Like they were, because they said there's no way these kids can make 5s. And like, so they didn't believe him. And so they really made his life miserable for a while. Because, yeah, that's right. They had to retake the test.
Did they all get passed again?
I think so. I don't remember. I think they all did. So it's a really good movie. Like it's just really, it's a true story. It's especially if you all take the AP test in a few months. It's really inspirational.
There's 6 that we should turn in for? Like the first 6 and then stop it where it says bonus?
Yeah, stop with the hands. So
Okay.
2,
We should watch 310 to Yuma.
4. I don't think that was appropriate for us, Tina.
It's got some gore, but it's really great being a man.
Wow.
Put your lights back on. I've never seen that first.
Yeah, it is really amazing.
Yeah, but I don't understand it.
I don't remember how this or it is
Yeah, you can
like-
get from-
No. Wait, isn't the science and Interstellar actually like really good though?
Yeah, most of it is. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think anything that was glaring
Well,
that
that's
was
theoretical.
wrong. I mean,
Yeah.
the parts that we're not sure about, like the 5th dimension, you don't know what that would really look
Yeah.
like. But it's definitely possible that that's what it would look like. So yeah, no, it's a good movie. As far as, you know, science and
Wait, is that Wrinkle in Time?
no,
That was horrible.
no, that's definitely
Yeah, like, I heard that
fiction.
when you